Can I just start off by thanking Gertrude for allowing me to be on this platform and represent her story. And again, thank you so much, Best You. You are my people. You love to learn about yourself and others. You understand the power of self-actualization. You understand the strength it takes to start this journey, but also you know how rewarding it really is. So can I ask you a question? Have you ever gone down the same path you've been down before and expected a different ending? Type yes below if you have. I know we've all done it. And I like to call it patterning, but I'll have to tell you about that another time. So let me take you back to January 2016. I've just been in a new job for, just a couple of months, and it was going well. And a month into that job, I found out my mum had breast cancer. I was absolutely devastated, as you can imagine. The thought of losing my mum was just mind-blowing, and it was completely I just couldn't think of anything worse really. But we knew that we should get through it, and everything was going to be under control. I was also in a relationship with a man what gave me part-time love, but again, that is another story for another time. But all I knew is that my life was so unfulfilled. I had a deep knowledge that this wasn't the life that I was meant to live. And I wanted more. I guess you guys feel the same as well, or did feel the same. So I needed to find out what the purpose of my life was. I went on to find self-development, and I found my tribe, and I haven't looked back actually. I've spent tens of thousands of pounds on self-development, and I can really say, hand on my heart, it's been worth every single penny. So let's move forward to November 2017. My mum is all clear, thank God, and in full recovery. I ended that toxic relationship literally the same year, but it wasn't enough. I mean, I was in the same role, that same graphic design role. I had attempted to leave that role a couple of times, but just things didn't work out. But I knew the universe must have other plans for me. So I was in this role, as I said. I had developed a really toxic relationship with my manager. She was very controlling, and I couldn't express my creativity. I lacked confidence in myself and my skills, and there was no way for progression in that company. I couldn't even speak up in a meeting of 4 people. I'd completely lost my confidence. So I'm going to take you to November 2017. So a couple of years later, I remember speaking to my colleague about a book I was reading by Gabby Bernstein. It was called The Universe Has Your Back, and I loved it. I still love it. I don't know if any of you guys have read the book. Comment below if you have. And I remember just thinking to myself, and actually saying out loud, that I want to hand my resignation in. I had no plans, but it just felt right. So we had a little laugh as we packed up for the day, and we both went home. So the next day, I received an email inviting me into a meeting at 10 o'clock. So we thought this was quite strange, because usually we had group meetings as a team. But anyway, I went to the meeting, and this is how it went. So, Tichea, I'm really, really sorry, but we're going to have to make you redundant. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I understand. And literally, that was the meeting. So I came out of the meeting laughing, actually, because the universe had actually listened. I actually said this out loud to my colleague. I said, it actually is real. The universe has been listening. I've been made redundant. And I think she was a bit shocked and a bit more sad than I was. But it was fine. What could I do? So the next day, I was working at an event, a self-empowerment event, and this is where my tribe lived, actually. So as I said, a couple of years I've been doing self-development, going to all these classes, and I wasn't sure if I should really go, because I was thinking maybe I should look for another job, because at the end of this a month, they'd give you, that would be the end of it. I wouldn't have any more money. So I went anyway, and it was literally the best place for me, because I was surrounded by people that saw this as a great opportunity to go and create a life that I loved. I'd been rewarded for saying what I wanted. So I decided to find another graphic design job, had a look around, had an interview for this company. I didn't really want the job, but I thought I'd just go anyway. But I completely smashed the interview. They offered me the job straight away, literally in the interview. I had done a lot of money mindset work, and I had asked for what I wanted with regards to money and the benefits, and they gave it to me. They couldn't wait for me to start. So there I was, the 3rd of January, starting a new job. I felt on top of the world. I was working in the city of London, had lots of money, and I thought to myself, it doesn't get better than this, does it? So I was in the job, and a week later, a colleague from Brazil started. So she'd emigrated to the UK with her 2 small children and a husband, and she had started a social media management role. And everything was good. Colleagues were nice, the area was good, social life was good. I even started dating. And slowly, what I'd always created started again. I created a really controlling manager who stifled my creativity. She was very passive aggressive with her language, and it was being used every single day to me and my colleagues. There was no clear structure. So this led to more stress and anxiety in myself and my colleagues in the department. And then this one moment happened that I will never forget. Just thinking about it just brings up so much, so much feelings, so much emotions. So, a colleague of mine who I'd never met, he was like a marketing manager, and he would just drop in like every quarter, I believe. So the CEO went over to him and starts effing and blinding at him. So in the UK, that means like swearing, like F-bombs and everything. But he was literally screaming at him in his face. I've never seen anything like it. And the colleague, he sat literally opposite me and like one away. And this CEO just came screaming at him. And no one said anything. No one said anything at all. We all just like sat with our heads down. I was just literally just pretending to work, like looking down and like looking to see if anyone was going to say anything. And they didn't. And this must have gone on, it felt like 10 minutes, but it must have been only a few minutes. But he was screaming, telling him, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't you making me more money? I don't pay for you to sit at home, do nothing. What the hell is going on? It went on and on. And then at the end, the CEO went off. And we all sat in silence with our heads down. And this man was absolutely disgusting. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. And I pray to God I will never be in that situation again. It was definitely traumatizing. Let me know, like in the comments, if you've ever experienced this at your place of work. So in this job, I had quite a lot of projects. I mean, I was working 8 to 8 some days, and I had a commute for 3 hours as well. They really made me work for that money. So 15-hour days. But in the background, I'd been planning my very first event, and it was called She Created Her Life. And that's my brand. I created this brand, She Created Her Life, all about creating a life that you love. So I was working at home during my lunch breaks, working on the way to work, also working, literally anywhere I could, because it was keeping my soul happy. And one of my friends who I was creating the event with said to me that, Tichea, your soul is dying in this job. And if I'm honest with myself, I could feel it dying as well. But it was okay, right? I was making money, but I knew I wasn't fulfilled. I knew my purpose was not to make money for such a disgusting manager. And he was so ungrateful and greedy. So anyway, one afternoon, my colleague with the 2 children was pulled into an office by another manager. He wasn't our manager. but was pulled away into the office, and me and my colleague, me and my junior, became very anxious, and it was a feeling that I'd become very familiar with. That same manager came back to the department and started to clear her desk. She'd been sacked. So me and my junior both looked at each other in utter dismay. And then the same manager came over to me, and I remember thinking in my head, oh my God, I'm next. And I was. So just under 3 months, I'd got fired from this job, this high-flying job. I've never been fired from any job in my life. But in the UK, you get more rights if you have been in a job for over 3 months. So they knew exactly what they were doing. I was in complete shock, remember. I completely fell out of love with graphic design. I completely fell out of love of being in a corporate career. I felt like a criminal, because at that time I wasn't even allowed to say goodbye to my colleagues. I wasn't allowed to like clear my desk. I wasn't able to, it was just traumatizing. But luckily, I know now the universe had my back, because literally a month and 1 day is all I had before my next event, before my first event, I should say. And if I hadn't been fired from that job, I never would have been ready. And luckily I had this, and I put my heart and my soul into that event, and it was absolutely amazing. It was filled with so much love and joy and music and dance and theatre. I had 25 incredible speakers that helped me to create that event. And to be honest, I haven't looked back. So in the last year alone, I've created 7 events in London and in Hertfordshire, online and offline, to an international audience. Some of the speakers have flown in from into the UK from New Zealand, from Australia, South Africa, and all across Europe, totaling over 130 speakers, with over 300 of my idol kind of clients attending. I've spoken at large audiences in the UK on manifestation and empowerment. I've got invited to speak at Las Vegas, Australia, New Zealand, New York, and I launched my first online program called the F the Fear in December. Through no paid promotion, to a community of over 20,000 people. And I've group coached hundreds of people in my community. I've also done one-to-one coaching in business and development and branding. And I've produced radio shows for local personalities. And I've even had my own show to an international audience. I've also trained with top international speakers. And I have a beautiful wedding and events company. I've traveled this year to Turkey, and I had 4 international trips planned this year, but I'm sure they'll come up again. So that's a little bit about what empowering yourself and getting visible can do for you in 1 year. And the question I asked at the beginning is, have you ever gone down the same path and expected a different ending? In 2018, I took a different path. Not only did I take a different path, I created a brand new one. And now that path is established. It's a well-tread path, which I now lead people down. I show them the way. I hold their hands. I create lots of amazing things. And now I've created my life's work. It's a formula to create a life that you love. It's a 5-step formula that I've used for 4 years with myself and my clients. And I'm excited to share this briefly with you. And it's 5 ways of creating a life that you love. So number 1, it's all about awareness. So being aware of what you want, why you want it, who you are, when do you want it, and all those amazing things. Number 2, it's all about aspirations. Like, what do you want? What's your passion? What's your purpose? And it's about getting a plan into place. Number 3 is about number 3 is about adjusting your environment, finding your tribe, empowering yourself, self-development. Number 4 is about amplifying yourself, speaking on amazing platforms like this, building your community, finding your tribe. And number 5, it's all about action. So I can't go into all of it because I'm running out of time, But I'd love for you to join me, find me on Facebook and Instagram under Tichea Brade. That's Tichea, and Brade is Brade. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would love to find out about getting seen, getting heard, and getting paid, please find me on http://tiny, that's tiny.cc/1UWLSZ. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the expo. I've been Tichea Brade.